Hi, today I will show you why in my opinion the Asus Zephyrus M is the most affordable option from the Zephyrus line and other thin and light gaming laptops out there. So if you're looking for a powerful and portable device on a budget, you might be interested. We will also check the competition's gaming laptops of this kind so that you can find out which one suits you best. As always, in the video description you can find Amazon links to easily find Zephyrus and all the laptops that I will be talking about in this review. To skip to any part of this video, you can use the timestamps that I also left in the description. I'm Chris from techfindsreview.com and now let's jump into the review. The Zephyrus M GM501 is a good example that a gaming laptop doesn't have to look fancy to attract attention. I like this clean design with small elements that make it look great. You have metal lid with brushed aluminum texture and ROG logo that lights red when the laptop is on. The deck and bottom are also made of metal and you have this nice looking copper color strip going around the edges. Simple yet smart shape of this laptop combined with clean design makes it eligible to use in public without shame. The only thing that I wish it had is thin bezel display, so it would look perfect to me. Zephyrus is a laptop built for those who need a powerful and portable device. If you're a creator, maybe you travel a lot or you just carry your laptop every day to school or work, you will appreciate how portable it is and how much power it packs inside. The dimensions of Zephyrus are 38.4 cm in width, 26.2 cm in depth, and 1.75 cm in height when the laptop is closed. When it's opened, the height is 1.99 cm. That's because of the hinge mechanism that lifts up the laptop for better airflow, but I will be talking more about cooling system later on. The keyboard is just another element that looks good in this laptop, but what's more important, it's really comfortable to use. I would say that right after Predator Triton's mechanical keyboard, this one is my second favorite. It's full size with number pad, the keys have 1.7mm travel distance, the spacing is good, but I'm the most happy with the fact that this keyboard has additional useful keys. Starting from left you have volume down, volume up, mic off and on, and the ROG key which opens up the Asus Gaming Center. Here you can monitor the temperatures, hardware utilization, clock speeds, and also control such things as fan speed, GPU mode or the lighting. So the keyboard is divided into 4 zones for which you can choose different colors individually or set it all one color if you want. You can also apply different effects, set the brightness and save your own custom presets. One more thing that I like is that you can control fans from the keyboard using the combinations of function key and F5. The touchpad uses Windows Precision drivers and as you probably noticed it's smaller than a regular touchpad in laptop. However, I had enough space to drag files from one side of the screen to the second, and for dragging it up and down you have this cool feature that keeps it going when you meet the edge of the touchpad, so you don't have to do it in few steps. The tracking is good and the buttons don't require much force to register a click. For the ports, starting from left hand side you have power input, HDMI 2.0, 3 USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type A ports, and 3.5mm audio jack. On the right hand side there is one USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type A port, one USB 3.1 Type C with Thunderbolt 3, and security lock. Unfortunately there is no SD card slot and Ethernet port, so we will need to use the adapters if you need them. The display in Zephyrus is one of the fastest available on the market right now. It's 15.6 inch, 144Hz 1080p AHVA panel with 3 ms response time and G-Sync support. The fast refresh and response time is exactly what you need for gaming, so it's just perfect for that purpose. Everything runs smooth and the colors are vivid to provide you the best gaming experience. The display is matte to reduce reflections and the brightness of 320 nits allows you to comfortably use the laptop in bright environment. Viewing angles are respectable even though it's not an IPS panel. I'm also surprised with the quality of this display since I didn't even notice backlight bleeding, that is a common imperfection in laptop screens. If it comes to color accuracy, this panel can reproduce 98% of sRGB color gamut and 74% of Adobe RGB, so I would be more than happy to use it for some graphics work. The speakers are good. Of course you will not find a sub-in device this small, but the bass is just on point. Mids and highs are clear and the laptop gets really loud without any distortion. Above the display we have 720p webcam that is not great, and considering the price tag of this laptop it could have been better. Speaking of price, you have two options available. You can get the GTX 1070 version for $2200 or the cheaper one with the GTX 1060 that costs $1800. So the price is comparable to other high-end thin and light gaming laptops, but the Zephyrus M has one thing that makes it the most affordable option out there. It's a physical hard drive. If it comes to small and portable devices, they usually come with 1 or 2 slots for M.2 drive, and this solution has good and weak sides. In Zephyrus M, the sacrifice that had to be made in order to fit 2.5-inch drive inside this small chassis was to cut the battery size. The good side of it is that you don't have to spend fortune for M.2 SSD when you need to expand your storage. This is fully understandable trade-off considering that you will need a lot of space for games or files. The unit that I am reviewing comes with full-size 6GB GTX 1060, i7-8750H processor, 16GB of RAM, 256GB M.2 NVMe SSD, and 1TB Seagate FireCuda hybrid drive. This setup provides enough power to play a lot of popular and new titles with 1080p resolution and high to ultra settings. Here is a quick preview of how it performs in games just to give you an idea, but if you want to see more games tested, check out my gaming benchmark video with the Asus Zephyrus M. You can find the link in the description. Also, if you would like to check the current price or purchase this laptop, you can easily find it on Amazon. I include the links for US and UK residents. To keep this laptop cool, you have 5 heat pipes, of which 2 are dedicated for CPU and GPU separately, 2 fans, and the hinge mechanism that lifts up the laptop when you open it up for better airflow. Thanks to this solution, the air goes directly to the fans and you can actually see them exposed when you unscrew the lid. It has also 4 exhausts, 2 on the back and 1 on each side. When the laptop is plugged in, the cable seems to block the left exhaust, but I don't think this could affect the temperatures. However, the inconvenient position of power input is worth mentioning. Above the keyboard there are little holes to deliver some cold air from the top also. So the Zephyrus M packs so many features to improve cooling, but how does it work in practice? During the CPU stress test, the average temperature was 86 degrees Celsius, so that's impressive considering that it was a stress test and in real world no application will utilize 100% of processor which generates so much heat in situation like that. I also measured the temperature while gaming since the laptop has 2 shared heat pipes, which means that the heat of the GPU will affect the CPU and vice versa. The stress test was using only the processor, so the video card was idle and it didn't generate any heat. So during 2 hours of playing different games, I didn't notice any thermal throttling. And the average temperature of the CPU was 85 degrees. The average temperature of the GPU was 80 degrees. All the tests were made with overboost fan mode that is pretty loud but does a great job with keeping the laptop cool. On idle and during basic tasks, the fans are completely quiet. The battery life is one thing where the laptop falls short. As I said before, this is the compromise of having physical hard drive, so we will not be able to use Zephyrus on the go for a long time unless you have the charger with you. You can disable G-Sync to extend the battery life, but even when it's off, the battery lasts only for 1 hour of gaming or maximum 3 hours of browsing the web and basic tasks. Personally, I'm fine with that, as most of the time I use the laptop plugged in, and even though I have to take it with me sometimes, I always take the charger too. But if you need better battery, you should definitely look for some other device. For example, one of the laptops that I'm gonna compare now. By making this quick comparison, I want to give you an idea of what you can choose from, so you don't have to spend so much time for research. I chose 4 laptops of the same type as Zephyrus M, but there are a few differences between them that might be important for you. So speaking of battery life, let's start with Gigabyte Aero 15X. This laptop is well known for its large battery that can last even 7 hours on a single charge when doing light productivity work, so that's a good choice for those who need a powerful device on the go. It weighs almost half a kilogram less than Zephyrus and it's a little bit smaller. Also worth mentioning is that it has really fast SD card reader that supports UHS-2 speeds of 300 MB per second. So if we combine all the features that I just mentioned with 4K display that Aero 15X has in offer, we get a perfect laptop for photographers on the go or creators of any kind. For gamers, there is 144Hz display available, and you can also choose between full-size GTX 1060 or 1070 Max-Q GPU. The next laptop is the lightest one on our list. The MSI GS65 weighs only 1.85 kilos and it's noticeably smaller than most of laptops that I chose for this comparison. According to dimensions of the device, the keyboard is not full size, but it's made by SteelSeries and it has individual backlighting per key. It has also pretty good battery that can last even about 5 hours when doing basic tasks. The display is 1080p 144Hz IPS level panel with good color accuracy, and if it comes to the GPU, you have full-size GTX 1060 or 1070 Max-Q available. I have to mention that it's kinda hard to upgrade anything in this laptop, but inside you have 2 slots for M.2 NVMe drives and 2 RAM slots. If you want more details about MSI GS65, you can check out the review made by Matthias Tech. You can find the link in the description in reviews section. Okay, so now we have the 2018 model of Razer Blade 15. This is the smallest laptop on this list, but comparing to the MSI GS65 the difference is not big at all. It's slightly heavier but still half a kilogram lighter than Zephyrus M. Considering dimensions, Razer Blade 15 comes with low power consumption GPUs only, so you have GTX 1060 Max-Q and GTX 1070 Max-Q available. You can also choose between 4K 60Hz or 1080p 144Hz display with 1070 model, and for 1060 version you have also 1080p 60Hz display. Please note that this laptop has only one slot for M.2 NVMe drive. There is also a version with additional 2.5-inch hard drive that is available with 1080p 60Hz screen only. However, this configuration has not the best value for the money, as same as Razer Blade 15 in general. But if you don't mind the price, you get a pretty good and portable workstation with 6 hours of battery life, big and remarkable touchpad, and the best quality RGB per key keyboard. The last laptop that I would like to mention is the Acer Predator Trident 700. And if it comes to portability, this is the biggest device on our list, but it's still not heavier than Zephyrus M. Unfortunately, Acer released only models with i7-7700HQ processors, but you can choose between full-size GTX 1060 and GTX 1080 Max-Q GPU. For the storage, you have 2 slots for M.2 drives. Trident features also great full-size mechanical gaming keyboard that in my opinion provides the best experience among laptop keyboards. If it comes to display, Trident 700 is equipped with 1080p 120Hz IPS panel with the color coverage comparable to other gaming laptops with 144Hz screens. Also, if you're looking for the laptop with good battery life, this one will not satisfy you, as it can work only for about 2.5 hours when doing light productivity work. Alright, that's all for today, and I hope you found this video helpful. Check the video description to find Amazon links for the laptops that I mentioned and for more related reviews. Also, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this kind of reviews, it would be awesome if you hit thumb up or maybe consider subscribing TechFinds for more. On my channel you can find detailed laptop reviews, laptop comparisons, different tutorials and more. Now thanks for your time and see you in the next review.